Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studio and the Gurkha Cigar Studio in the great state of New Hampshire, welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Smokin Nicole.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTobacco.com, and I'm joined once again by the fabulous Smokin Nicole as we are down to just about 7 days to go.
It is coming up, and you know what? I'm ready to get out of New England. It was snowing again yesterday.
Very briefly.
I know, but I'm over it.
It went away quickly, and then the sun
but
came
it's
out.
April.
Yeah.
It was cold today.
That was like one of those little joke snows, like, haha, I'm just kidding, I'm gone.
I know there wasn't accumulation, but I'm cold, and I'm ready for 80-degree weather in New Orleans.
I mean, we're halfway through, and it's time. Let's quit screwing around with the weather. It's time. Hopefully, by the time we get back from New Orleans, we come back and we bring the heat with us. That would be nice. That way, it's not like, oh man, I'm going back to the cold.
Yeah, maybe it'll warm up.
Fruitful thinking. It'll be the end of April. Yeah, wait, I'm sorry. I got a lot on my plate right now. Okay, everything is really blurring together. So I'm trying. I got a lot going on here.
I'm just picking on you.
I got an important guest on the show tonight.
That's right.
I got there's a lot going on right now. I got Coop harassing me about the Mike Vrabel thing. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, it's
Are
just.
Are you really gonna let Coop harass you though?
I know, coming from the guy who's a New York Giants fan. Like, oh yeah. The only thing worse than that is the Dallas Cowboys fan being like, it's like, when's the last time you guys were relevant? Just there's Coop, just the old man yelling at the cloud. The Patriots. I'm like, come on, what are we doing?
Okay, well let's put Coop on the back burner for a minute.
I know sometimes he gets me going. What can I say? He knows how to push the right buttons. This person that's going to be with us tonight, though, is not going to push my buttons, although he knows that Coop can push buttons. That one's for you, Coop. That one's for you. He'll listen to it later. Like, I heard the jabs. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. He listens to every show. He has to. This person comes to us. This is actually a very big show. This is a very important show because this guest comes to us in the winner's circle at the top of the podium. The presentation of insert Big Four sports trophies here. Back to back. Defended the crown. It hasn't been done at Smokin Tabacco yet. And this was the first company, first family, to do so. It's a very big deal.
Yeah.
I'm really building this up because it's really worthy. Also, I want to say this now in this intro because I think it's the most appropriate place to do so. This is a family business. I know a lot of people know that. This is one of those handed down generational businesses, family businesses where, the next generation learns from the past and brings on the torch. And, most of the time that torch is passed and it works out well and everyone has their own spin on it, generation to generation. But what I will say is that this particular group, and with this very earned win, very big win of Cigar of the Year back to back, just showed that torch has not only been passed, but it was passed and it took off running, and this company is going to be in great hands for many, 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 many years to come. Of course, if you pay attention and you know what I'm talking about, then you probably know who I'm talking about. And of course, that is none other than perhaps one of my favorite people in this business, Mr. Nicholas Perdomo III. There he is.
What can I say?
2025 Cigar of the Year winner for Perdomo Legacy Nicaraguan Shade Grown epicure.
You left me speechless starting the show, Matt. Way too kind, brother.
That's my
How
job.
are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, that was really, really kind of you. Appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
Very. It's no bullshit either. I mean, that's all like that's legit. That's you guys. I'll tell you, there's a lot of great, as you know, there's a lot of great companies, a lot of great cigars, a lot of great families in this business. But there's just something about the Perdomos, whether it's the family, the brand, the cigars themselves, just everything you guys do. It's just, P is for Perdomo, but P is also for perfect. And that is the word that I use to describe you guys. Just spot on.
I appreciate it, man. It's super kind. I think only God's perfect, but I appreciate the compliment. And I'm just grateful to be on the show. Nicole, it's great to see you. And the MVP of your house with your beautiful daughter. And so I'm just grateful to be on the show. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to speak on behalf of my family, our brand, and one thing is I'm grateful for the partnership that we have with Smokin Tabacco. You and I were the young guys in the industry, and we hit it off. I remember meeting you years ago at Two Guys, and I think we've always had a great relationship, and we continue to have a great relationship. So the feeling's mutual, the respect is mutual. So I'm grateful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great. What a ride. What a ride it's been. It's just getting started.
Getting started.
Oh, we got a long way to go.
No doubt. No doubt.
In addition to your back-to-back Cigar of the Year win, you guys didn't go home with just one award this year, the top award, obviously. You guys were also our 2025 Factory of the Year for Tabacalera Perdomo, which, I think also speaks volumes, just what you've been working on the last couple of years and with the cigars that you've released. And you already have something really cool that we're going to get into a little bit later in the show, or, in a little bit, which I'm excited to see that and where that goes. And I don't want to, get too ahead of myself, but just truly all the great work you guys do is not only reflected in one cigar or two cigars, but all the cigars that you make. And all your cigars come out of one great factory, your own factory, which, I know there's a lot of factories, but not everyone can say they have their own factory, and you guys do. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for the back-to-back Cigar of the Year between Perdomo 30th anniversary and now Perdomo Legacies, I made in honor of my dad. And, of course, having our factory, recognized by you guys. And, it's a tribute to our people and our incredible workforce in Nicaragua. And, we've been there now for over 30 years now. As a matter of fact, 1995, 1996, we've been down there. And so it's something that I'm super proud of, something I'm super grateful for our workforce. And thank you for the recognition.
Absolutely. Very well earned. And I know every year you and your dad are always saying, I want you to come down. And I want to come down. I want to come down so bad. It's just, the logistics of life. I'm really hoping we come down soon. Because I'll tell you, out of all the factories out there, I hear a lot of good things about a lot of good factories, but I hear the one I hear the most, like, you have to go, is Tabacalera Perdomo. That's the one that I consistently hear that, oh, you got to go there. You got to go to Perdomo. You got to go to Perdomo. You got to go to Perdomo. You got to go Perdomo. That's what I hear all the time. So that is the next one on my list. That is the top of where do I go next, and that's the one that I look forward to. So
yeah, we'd love to have you, and we took off this year from factory tours, first time in over 20 years, and that's something because we've gone through a lot of expansion. This year really was the year of expansion for us in Nicaragua. Over the last couple of years, a lot of people don't know, but we've purchased 2 new farms. It's a little over 600 acres of tobacco that we're going to be able to grow now. Thank God our brands are growing. We're growing in different countries outside of the United States, and our brand continues to grow year in and year out. So it's something, we added an extra 6,000 square feet to an already 88,000 square foot facility, our main facility. We're building new pre-industries, new buildings. We got another 50,000 square foot building going going up over the next year. So we're building, and we're running real hard. So I'm real proud of it. But so yeah, we're looking forward to having you one day.
I look forward to coming. It's going to be great. I'll circle back to that because there's a couple of questions I think I have after that. So, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. There's a couple of people we got to talk about, and a couple of people I want to thank before we get too far into the show, because without them, this show wouldn't be possible. And our first is our friends, as well as good friends of yours, at the number 2, guyscigars.com. That's right, the number 2, guyscigars.com. Head over there today for an amazing selection of cigars and accessories from brands you know and love, and maybe a few you haven't quite discovered yet. Do yourself a favor, place an order, buy some cigars from them, show them some love. They show us love every week here on the show, only at the number 2, guyscigars.com. And Nicholas, as our guest, obviously I'm going to let you go first and tell us what you're smoking. I have a funny feeling I think I know what you're smoking. It looks like is that a Nicaraguan shade Bellicoso legacy?
You are correct. I'm smoking.
Oh, good eye.
Nicaragua, you have a great eye. Nicaraguan shade grown Perdomo Legacy Grand Bellicoso 6x6.
You know, I have to say, that size really is phenomenal. And I was really looking forward when you guys said, like, well, we're going to, do the Grand Bellicoso. I was like, oh. And I remember at the launch at the Two Guys stores, when I came and you guys had all the boxes on the table, I walked in and Dave was there, and I said, all right, I'm going to be buying some stuff, but I want to make sure I get a box of the Bellicosos. And there was only one box of the Connecticut's. That was all there was left. And I was like, I didn't even think about it. I'm taking it. And and Dave was like, the Bellicosos are gone. They just gone. And I was like, well, that's telling.
Yeah, this cigar has been a real big hit. Today everything by industry standards, it's parallel shapes, right? And so I really wanted to come out with a size, and my dad loves figured shapes, but I wanted to come out with a size for people who enjoy smaller ring gauge cigars. So it is a 6x60, but the head of the cigar is a 48. So when you cut a quarter of an inch off and you cut it correctly, you have a 48 ring gauge basically where you put your lips, but you get the smoke output of a 60 ring gauge cigar. And I absolutely love the cigar. You get the small feel with really big flavors from the 60 ring gauge. So, and also the box pressing also adds an extra thinner feel to the cigar. So, and this cigar has been selling really, really well, and I'm so proud of that. It's one of the top sellers in all the legacy lines.
Really? Across all wrapper varieties?
Yeah. This size does extremely well. I think it's also, being in a 10-count box, it's an easy sell, but I wanted to make it approachable to consumers so that they go, well, let me buy the box. It's only 10 cigars, and I want to give it a try. And we've been trying to educate as much as possible, whether it be our sales force that's out in territory, my dad, myself, just in terms of how to properly cut and light figured shaped cigars, because a lot of people unfortunately miss out on them because they just don't really know how to cut the cigar, and they kind of pass torpedoes and figurados and different shapes like that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was blown away by that. The Connecticut Grand Bellicoso was the number 3 cigar, as you know. The Nicaraguan shade Epicure, which is what Nicole and I are smoking tonight, was number 1, and then the Maduro, I think, was number 11. So you got, I mean, all 3 of them were at the top of the list. I mean, out of 25. So I think that's also very, as was, I'm pretty sure 30th was, I think most of them were, the 30th for 24 was the Sungrown that was number 1. And then I think Maduro was up there, and then I think like the Connecticut was like just outside the top 10. So it was very similar, with both years. It wasn't just number 1, but all of them were pretty much at the top. So that's 6 cigars and on 2 lists back to back. I mean that's pretty damn good. So
Great, thank you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that Grand Bellicoso, I really like that. And of course, I don't know if our friend Les is watching. I know he's a big fan of yours. NP3, as he always says. NP3. But our friends at ST Dupont, we always shake up the legacy here at Smokin Tabacco, and we're shaking up the legacy once again with another new SD Dupont product. That's right, featuring the new SD Dupont table lighter. Yeah, this massive brick. It's not meant to be carried around. So I know a lot of people think like, wow, that thing is enormous, but this is not meant to be mobile. This is meant to stay in the home, in the lounge, and it's got some great. It's got 2 burners. Nicole, I know you love talking about this lighter.
What do you mean? I just love it.
I know
It's
you
shiny.
do.
I mean, I love DuPont products anyway, but it's a soft flame. It also has a flat flame on it. If anyone can see.
I know it's hard with the camera, but
Oh, well.
and then you get the soft flame, which is windproof, which is a windproof soft flame from the Jeffrey Windproof that also came out. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. That thing's a beast. That takes a lot of fuel.
Yeah, this one we're keeping.
that thing takes a lot of fuel. That's one thing I'll tell you. Make sure you get a lot of fuel if you're going to buy that lighter.
I feel like it's one of the most elegant table lighters I've set my eyes on.
You know, it really is. I mean, and Nicholas, I know you've been around too. Table lighters exist, obviously. You know, that is a thing. And you know, they're convenient. You know, it's nice for, especially in shops. You get people coming in and out, just having like, you know, the big lighter around that everyone's using all day, or maybe you just like to have one lighter that you don't want to fill every day, so you get that one big one. Whatever the reason is, and they're all, you know, they're not bad, but this one really is probably the nicest one I've seen in terms of detail and design and just general presentation. And the fact that it has 2 different flame types, I'm almost positive is a first for a major table lighter like that. So definitely check that out. That is a great buy. You'll be happy. You'll be happy long term.
Well, I hope my man Les hooks me up, so I'll leave it there.
Yeah, he needs to get you one with the Perdomo logo on it. That's what you need, nice and personal.
And actually, I mean, that's great marketing because this is such a large lighter. I feel like it would be great for people's logos on it for marketing.
Yeah, Les, make that happen. MP3 needs a nice, good table lighter. But it's got to be custom. It's got to be Perdomo. You know, come on. You got to do it right.
I'll take it.
You know, Les was also our 2025 Person of the Year. So to get Person of the Year, it usually means that you kind of know what you're doing. So I have faith. I have faith.
Wonderful man.
I love him to death. He's great. Quick shout out to Nova Cigar, who's always with us as well. Make Nova big at Nova Cigar. Nicholas, I wanted to circle back really quickly before I forget. So you mentioned that you bought, and maybe you did mention it and I just missed it. There's been a lot going on here. But so you mentioned that you guys bought some more farmland. And how many acres was that?
A little, roughly over 600 acres.
And what do you primarily plan to grow on those? Is there any, you know, new tobaccos, same tobaccos, just extra room for what you guys are already growing, or you know what's kind of the plan there?
Well, we're gonna use it for same variety because we're gonna be within Esteli, so there's a farm right in the center of Esteli and also one slightly to the north in between Condega and Esteli. So, you know, we're gonna be growing our typical, you know, Habano seed, Cuban seed type of tobaccos, Corojo 99, and so we're going to be Criollo 98 and things like that. And so we're also going to be doing some Nicaraguan shade-grown tobacco on some of these farms as well, with the same seed variety, very similar soils and things like that. And we wanted to be able to really buy 2 incredible farms that produce incredible grounds, and really the grounds are virgin. None of these farms have ever been grown on, and so it's pretty incredible. And they're beautiful. They're flat. They have amounts of water, tremendous amounts of minerals, mineral contents, which is going to give really just incredible flavors to the tobaccos that we're growing. So.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of land. That's a lot of tobacco to be grown. You know, it's just trying to mentally comprehend it. I mean, it's probably easier for you. I mean, because you're used to being down there, but that's a lot of tobacco. That's a lot of land.
A lot of land.
Yeah, that's a lot of land. You know, the legacy was born from tobaccos that you hadn't worked with before, and a real trailblazing moment, I think, for you guys as a family and as a company. And obviously, it was a huge success. And you recently, and that was something that you did, pretty much all on your own for your dad, and which again, I think, job well done. But recently, you guys announced that you were going to be doing a collaborative effort to expand on the legacy line with the Father and Son project, which is going to be, I believe, your first limited edition product. Is that right?
It is the first limited edition product. So basically, Perdomo Legacy and Perdomo Legacy Father and Son. Father and Son it's our project, right? It's a collaborative brand. So we did it for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons was to also defend our crown with Smokin Tabacco for 2026, so we can be the first three-peat. And the other reason is really, looking back, my dad created this incredible tobacco, this Nicaraguan shade-grown tobacco, and I used the tobacco to make a cigar in honor of him. And so years ago, and as I was, we were working with Perdomo Legacy, I said, Dad, we got to do something in the future. You got to create your blend. I mean, I'll be the first to release it. It's your tobacco. You worked with it with our geneticists and created this Cuban Cameroon seed hybrid. But you have to create a blend. And so my dad's like, yeah, I will. And my dad started working with tobaccos. When you look at Perdomo Legacy and the Nicaraguan shade grown, I used a little bit more higher primings, which means higher up on the plant. So it's a little bit darker, a little bit richer, has more of a Habano flavor with a little bit of a Cameroon essence on the back end. And my dad decided I'm going to work with tobaccos towards the middle of the plant, a little bit lower in priming. So he wanted to get thinner texture, a little bit more in that Cameroon type, because it's got a little bit more thinner in texture. It's got more tooth, a little bit more light color. So you'll see the difference in colors. And so it has that Cameroon flavor, that sweet, almost spice type of flavor, but it's got that Habano influence on the back end. And so when he worked on that, I said, well, I got to make my own blend. And so I worked with a Maduro wrapper, so real heavy Nicaraguan, real thick, heavy priming. And I wanted to, because it's a thinner type of leaf, that Nicaraguan shade grown that my dad used. So I used the binder grade of that tobacco. So it's a Nicaraguan Maduro wrapper over Nicaraguan shade grown binder. And really what makes a cigar special, because we wanted to do something truly limited. Every year we grow, all our farms, we divide everything by lot number. We never say we're going to use Seco from Jalapa, Viso from Esteli, Ligero from Condega. We always specifically choose the lot number. So that's how we continue and stay and maintain consistency. So going back, there's a lot of farms that we have that have really small lots, right? And so we grow on those lots, but we really can't use those tobaccos for regular production items like 20th anniversary, Perdomo Habano, 10th anniversary, things like that, because I just don't have the quantity of tobacco because those lots are so small. So we've been stockpiling tobaccos, and I'm like, Dad, let's use this tobacco. Let's blend with these very limited tobaccos that we have from either Jalapa, Condega, or Esteli, what we call the Big Three. And that's what we did. I mean, we were opening bales, I remember a couple of years ago, from 2016 all the way back to 2011. I graduated high school in 2011, so I'm working with tobaccos that we grew the year I graduated high school. And wow. So I mean, this brand is certified. I worked with 10-year age tobaccos for Perdomo Legacy, and Perdomo Legacy Father and Son is between 10 to 15-year age tobaccos, depending on the variety of tobacco, for filler tobaccos and even wrapper tobaccos. I mean, we're working with Nicaraguan shade grown. I used, going back to 2014, 2015 crop, 11, 12-year-old tobaccos that my dad's working with those lower primings. And so it was one of those things. The idea was, well, my dad's got his cigar, I have my cigar. It's kind of like a competition in between the family, which has really never been done before, outside of us never doing a limited release. And so that we're only going to release once a year. But then I'm like, Dad, we sell so many Connecticut's, and I really don't want to leave the Connecticut Perdomo smoker out, or just the Connecticut smoker in general. And so I was like, why don't you do the blend? My dad's like, no, you and I are going to do the blend together. So that's when I said, oh, collaborative. So I said, Perdomo Father and Son collaboration, right? And so we have our own blends, but we together, him and I blended the Connecticut blend, and it was important, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun doing it. But I think the big thing, outside of the incredible 10 to 15-year age tobaccos that we've never used before, and just the blending and the styles that I have, my dad has, and then him and I combining them on the Connecticut blend, we created an incredible size. And we call it our Grand Figurado. So it's a parallel cigar, but the cigar has the head of the cigar is a 48, the body of the cigar is a 60, and the foot where you have initial lighting is a 52. So we literally, my dad and I were sitting with a pencil and a paper in Nicaragua, and we're about to meet with our mold maker. And I said, Dad, what if we did this? What if we created something small in the field? We're going to box press it on not just the front and back, but also on all four sides. Make it super special, super labor intensive, which is part of what, why we can't make so many of those cigars, because it takes on average 24 hours to box press cigars for us. But this specific cigar takes 48 hours. It's double the time because I'm doing it on all four sides instead of from top to bottom. And so we literally wrote it on paper. And then what happened is we met with our mold maker, and we did everything by hand, all wooden molds made out of ash wood. And so the size of the cigar and those pictures don't even really do it justice. When you see it in person and you see the packaging and the greens that we use, again, just trying to make it super luxurious, super limited, and just something that's really new for us. I'm really proud of it. And when you smoke these cigars, Matt, I'm really going to make it hard for you and Nicole not to give us the crown for the third time.
I know, it's I'm telling you.
I love the dedication.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to do it.
We're in April, and I'm working it. So.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Now, will we see it next week in New Orleans?
You will. You will.
Okay.
You will. Yeah, we're excited about it. I can't wait to show it. It's different. As a matter of fact, the cigars are going to be featured. So you've seen the Perdomo Legacy box. It's beautiful. Dome label on top. Everything's beveled, hand done in terms of the routing of the box and things like that. Imagine that box in a 50 count chest.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's going to be literally like a legacy box like this big, and it's massive, but it's and I think we fairly priced the cigar, especially for a limited edition. It's only going to be released once a year. The cigar is going to be MSRP for $15 a cigar. It'll be our second or third most expensive cigar that we make. Grand Bellicoso being the most expensive at $16 a cigar in Perdomo Legacy. So it's something I think it's fair, and it's, even though it's a $750 chest, it's 50 cigars. So it's not 20 cigars, it's not 10 cigars, it's 50 cigars. It's basically 2 boxes in one. And what we really wanted to do was we wanted to make a chest that was so versatile that you can actually use it as a humidor. You get a couple Boveda packs, you put them inside the box, and you have your own personal humidor.
Yeah, there's been some Perdomo humidors that I've seen out in the wild here and there, but there's not a lot of them.
No, we haven't really made a lot of humidors. We made some beautiful Macassar humidors, things like that, probably about going on 10 years now for 20th anniversary Perdomo Habano. But I think if you could buy a box, or buy, in this case, a chest, what we call a chest of 50, and you're able to use it as a humidor, and really it's something that you're only going to get once a year, and 50 cigars in a year. Cigar smokers are smoking way more than 50 cigars, so it's something that it's going to really just come in, and it's going to be gone.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's interesting. And you and I have talked about this a little bit. The limited market, the collector's market, I feel like it's exploded over the last several years. I mean, limiteds are not new. They've been around. There's been limiteds for a long time, but there's definitely a lot more of them. And I've said this on plenty of shows. It's nothing that I've said behind a closed door. My personal opinion, and this obviously doesn't include you, I sometimes feel that there's too many limiteds. And I feel like I understand why a lot of companies put the limited out there. It's easy here's 1,000 boxes, yada, yada, yada. And some of those cigars have been great. Believe me, I've enjoyed them. It's gotten to a point where I just feel like you're constantly just seeing limited. There's all these limiteds that people, to a point where, yes, every company has like a limited edition, but it just feels like, you're not really just collecting all the different ones. You just have a whole supply of just limited editions, that make up like just one core category. Well, I have all these limited editions. And sometimes those limited editions just don't feel limited, like because they made X amount of them. What really makes it special and rare? Like, why is it rare? Why is it special? And I think that there's plenty of them that there's a lot. I feel kind of miss that mark sometimes, if I'm being honest. But there's plenty that do. This is a great example of one that does. There's a lot of reason behind it. It was really thought out. It was planned. It's not something that's really your forte. And so you were really careful about how you put it together, and you really put some thought into it. You're using special tobaccos. You're using tobaccos you don't have a lot of, which is why it's a limited production. And I'm not saying that no other limit is like that, but believe me, there's a lot of them that use vintage tobaccos and rare tobaccos. There are some though that don't. They just don't make a lot of them, and that's I think where some of the problem with and we've talked about this like on Spare Notes with Coop and with other people. I think that's I don't think it's the worst problem the industry has. There's obviously plenty of other problems that are more of an issue, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess for me, my opinion as a cigar blogger, reviewer who comments on things that I see and do with the industry, and some of the conversations I have with people, like, yeah, there's people out there that love it, and then there's people out there that are just like, well, what is all this? Like, I just want to get my core line products. And it can be, I don't want to say intimidating, but maybe overwhelming, I think, for some consumers. It's just like every time you turn around, it's like, oh, I got this new limit. I was in a cigar store today, and, there was a limited, and someone was like, well, what's this? Is it even good? Like, it gets to a point where people, like, are just questioning it. It's like, oh, it's limited, but, like, is it worth my time? Because there's plenty of other limiteds I could buy. So, I think that if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. It's got to be really thought out. There has to be some meaning behind it. It's got to be special. I think that's the right way to do it, and I think that's what you guys have done. So really excited to see how the finished product really is.
Yeah, I think I could speak on behalf of, not only myself, but my dad and our company. It took us, I think after 34 years of going on 34 years of being in business, I think we've earned the right to create a limited edition project. And at the end of the day, we have our core lines, and it has to be sustainable, and sustainability is everything. That's what keeps your brand strong and going. And so Perdomo Legacy Father and Son, which will be coming out this year, is a complement to Perdomo Legacy. And it's one of those brands, and eventually when Perdomo Legacy goes, or Perdomo Legacy Father and Son, it gets sold out and things like that. Well, I'm really not, you have Perdomo Legacy. You know what I mean? So it's a different variation, but it's one of those things where even though when that brand runs out and we have to wait until we can re-release it, you still have Perdomo Legacy. So I want to make sure that I can support everyone, and in terms of our consumers and making sure I can deliver everything that they want and ask for. That's my job. I mean, I just wanted to do something very special with my dad, and I think at the end of the day, more than anything, this experience, really, because we're a family company, I'll be honest with you, I did this to make memories with my dad. At this stage in our career and our company, I really wanted to make memories with my dad. I wanted to create a project with him and I. I'm sure his dad and his grandfather, I'm sure they wish that they could have had the opportunity to have done something, and I didn't want to leave anything behind. And, I really wanted to do something special with my dad. And that's the memory, and all I want to do is just share these memories with our consumers and our retailers. That's literally the whole point of Perdomo Legacy Father and Son.
I want to touch on that because I can kind of relate to that. Not everybody gets the opportunity to get into the same line of work, career, skill set, what have you, with a parent, or like a father and a son. specifically. I work in a business that's like that, and I have had that opportunity, and I can tell you, I get it. I get it. It's a lot of, it's a very different mindset, that I don't think anyone, if you've never lived with that, if you've never, and it's not even just about what you're doing. It is that connection in the relationship, and the memories you make, which I like how you really touched on that, because it's true. I mean, not everyone's going to be able to get to say when they look back at their career and the memories and the accomplishments and the things that they did during their career. Not everyone can also say that they also shared that with a family member, like a parent, which is very unique. And I have, and it is a big part of my life. It's very important to me. When I go into work every day, it's always on my mind, for a lot of reasons, and I won't really get into the whole, rabbit hole of that. But I feel like you get that too, and it's almost like you're making memories, when you do stuff together, where you feel like you have more of a purpose. You have a legacy to live up to, something that me and my dad have said. That's why I love the legacy term that you've used, because that's a word that's been used in my house, regarding that kind of same relationship. So I totally get it, and I think for me, it hits close to home, just because of how my relationship with my dad, both personally and professionally, have crossed and grown together, and I know how special that is. So
It's huge.
Yeah.
Paramount. I think at the end of the day, listen, this cigar, it's about the memories. It's not about sales. It's just something that my dad and I'm like, hey, Dad, let's do this. And he's like, let's do it, and it's just a blessing. But, there's a big misconception where a lot of people think, well, it looks like, my dad's passing the torch. No, my dad's still going strong. My dad still has a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of blends that we're working on for the future, and he's carrying his torch, and I'm carrying my torch, and we're carrying the torch of our family, and he's honoring his father, his grandfather, all the Perdomos behind, and I'm working for my kids and the future Perdomos, and he is as well. So that's just really what it comes down to. And again, at this stage in my dad's career and how long we've been in business, going on 34 years. It's all about just delivering excellence to our consumers and our retailers. That's all we're driven by. We're driven by quality. We're driven by family. And at the end of the day, whatever we do it with heart. We do it with intent. And we just want to get better. We want to be better every day. We work hard. We strive really hard, whether we're in Nicaragua, we're here in the United States, and we're working stores, things like that. We're here to be the best we possibly be and just deliver.
Now, I do have to ask, were you intimidated at all to blend a cigar with your father?
Well, yes, and
I would have said yeah.
So I told my dad, I basically said, hey, go ahead and blend your cigar. This is after I already blended Perdomo Legacy and all three wrappers in Connecticut, Nicaragua, Shade Grown, and Maduro. I was like, hey, go ahead and blend your cigar, because I wanted to see what he was going to come up with. I know my dad's style and everything, but of course, being the sensei and the master, he's like, I could see he's like, well, I'm going to work with these primings, getting very technical because it's his cigar, but he did it to show me too. So, and when I saw what he worked with, that's where I got, I guess, inspired, but also gave me, I don't want to use the word cheat sheet because I knew what I was going to do. It helped me a lot. So I wanted his blend to be the foundation of Perdomo Legacy, father and son. My blend worked off of his blend, and then the Connecticut blend, which we collaborated on together, it all pairs evenly. So when you smoke all three blends, it's all in unison.
And what did that process look like? The one that you blended together, was there going back and forth? Was there debating on it? Was there, did it just work out so effortlessly that that it just like worked, or did it take hours? Was it quick? I'm just curious on the ups and
Yeah,
downs.
yeah, no, I mean, it was all ups, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because you got to remember, my dad taught me how to blend cigars, so I kind of, I know where my dad wants to go, but I think my only input really was, well, my dad wanted to drive more tobaccos from Jalapa to bring more sweetness to the blend, but then I wanted to drive a little bit more tobaccos from Condega in terms of the aged tobaccos and the fillers, a little bit more ligeros and things like that, because I wanted to use it. It's a little bit tamer than Esteli, for example, which is your richest, heavier type of tobacco that's produced in the country of Nicaragua. But Condega is basically a cross between Jalapa and sweetness and power of Esteli. So that was really the only major, conversation we had. Him and I were both in use, and we wanted to dress it in the same lower priming in the Nicaraguan shade grown that he used for the wrapper, but in binder grade over the Connecticut wrapper. So it was pretty smooth. We blended it. I don't want to say the word quickly, but I mean it was seamless, to be honest with you.
That's a testament as well, I'm sure, to him teaching you how to blend if it worked that smooth together, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We work really well together. My dad, whether we're selling cigars together and we're doing events, and Matt's been there many times and seen us in action, and or whether we're working together in Nicaragua, there's in a professional relationship, which I have a lot of respect for my dad. Even though he's my dad, he's my boss, and so there's the line, and I don't draw that. I don't go across the line, and but overall we work together great, whatever we do together. So I'm proud to be, and I say it honestly and humbly, I'm proud that my dad and I are the father and son cigar brand today in our industry. And I believe that in my heart. And, and being the young guy, in the industry, I'm proud of that. And I'm grateful that I have my dad, and that him and I can work together and continue to build for generations and build our legacy together.
I wanted to touch on something, so kind of a little bit back to, what we were talking about a minute ago. I've learned a lot of lessons from my dad. Professionally, most of what I know, I learned from my dad. Someone asked me, what's the most important lesson or the most important thing that your dad taught you? It's hard to answer, but the one that really sticks in my mind is, just take a lot of pride in your work.
Sure.
Because that means a lot of different things. If I was to ask you that question, what would you say is the most important thing that your dad's taught you through this whole experience in your career?
That's one of them, but I would say, the word noble. I think nobility and being a noble person, somebody that people can lean on, somebody that's honest, honesty is the best policy. But I think being noble and being able to be counted on. My dad has never. My dad is a very giving person. And a lot of people don't know that. And my dad he'll give you the T-shirt off his back. He's just like my grandfather in that aspect. And I think that's something that looking back, it's just being the best human possibly can be, and just being noble. I think that's really the number one word for me.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things, you can take it, outside of the professional life too, you can apply it to, all parts of your life, which is important and rewarding too. Let's take a quick break from the deep dive. We'll get Nicholas off the stand or away from the spotlight, or the interrogation lamp. Should we do trivia or do we do Steve first?
Let's do Steve. Do you have a gripe?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been a pretty good week.
We're gonna have to have words with Steve at the trade show.
I know. I'm gonna say, Steve, you're not really bitching and complaining enough. I mean,
he's been happy.
He's been in a good mood. I don't know what it is. You know what? No, I don't want to talk to Steve about it. I got to talk to Cindy about it. Be like, Cindy,
You got to start poking the bear.
You got to start cranking it up. He's not cranking enough. You know, I need some gripes. You know. No, I mean, look, it's been a great week. At least for me. It seems like it's been a great week for Steve. He's getting ready for a good show, or what I hope is a good show for him.
Well, with all of his new releases.
With all of his 12 new releases.
Yes.
Last year he had like 9, and he was like, that's too many. You know, and he was like, no one should ever do that. And then this year he's like, we have 12 new releases, and I'm like.
And I haven't heard him complain about them yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. It's been pretty good. No, I mean, for me, it's just, I think my only gripe is I feel like I'm being harassed by Coop about the Mike Vrabel news. I mean, that's really the only thing that's really annoyed me this week. Because in the span of 12 hours, he's already texted me 5 times about it. And I'm like, wow, you really can't let this go. And then I said that, and he started sending me pictures of the woman that they said he was with, and he was like, "Oh, she's not bad though." And I'm like, "Don't try to turn this around and make this wow, yeah." No, I mean he wanted to keep sticking it to me, you know, and I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed at him. I'm annoyed at Mike Vrabel for getting himself in this situation so that I have to listen to it. It's hard being a Patriots fan because every little thing that happens, it's like everyone crawls out of the woodwork. Oh, look what they did now.
First ones to be attacked.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's just everyone. You know, it's. What did you say, Nicholas?
That was a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know all the details, but it seems like I don't know. It's not my life.
You're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. You know what? Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Thank you. You know, come on. That's really my only gripe I got this week. Other than that, it's been pretty good. And Steve's been in a great mood, too.
My gripe's with the weather. The New England
Your
weather.
gripe's always with the weather.
It is always with the weather, unless it's summer. But also just the mad rush of trying to plan for a trip.
Yeah, well.
And finding time.
You're planning for outfits and food, and I'm...
Yeah, but I'm also planning for Anastasia.
Well, in that. And
so...
I'm planning
I have to make sure she's happy with Grammy.
That and everything else related to the show, and it's exhausting. But yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a gripe week. I mean, you know what? We'll see out. You know what? Here's the thing. After a show, you know, what Steve does his thing for several days. When that show is over, he's gonna be burnt out and cranky. Like Coop said, I get him on the last day. I want him when he's cranky. He's gonna be cranky next week. Don't worry. We're gonna have some. He'll have some juice.
I'm sure he will.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be gassy. It's gonna be, real fire. I'm looking forward to it.
I see a comment here that is asking, does Nicholas have any gripes of the week?
Yeah, Nicholas, do you have any gripes? You're always a pretty positive guy. I don't think I've ever really heard you complain.
No, I have no. I wish my son would sleep a little bit more. My 6-month-old. That's the only gripe I have.
Yeah,
that's a fair gripe.
Yeah, that's a fair gripe. I mean, we know that, Bane.
Yeah. As you know, it gets better.
It does get better.
And then it gets worse, and then it gets better.
No kidding.
Yeah. I remember when I used to pick up Anastasia at school, and she would just run to me and be like, "Okay, Daddy, let's go." And I'm like, "Yay!" And for the last couple of months, it's like, "No, Daddy, I'm not ready to leave school yet." I'm like, "Well, we gotta get home and get dinner going, and get in the bath and do all those things. We got a short window here, kiddo. Let's go." And nope, I'm gonna run it back outside again. Okay. Get teachers are trying to wrestle her out of the playground. I love that kid. She's great. Nicholas, what are you smoking, and what's your favorite size?
Mr. Frank, I am smoking now a Perdomo Legacy Gran Bellicoso 6x60 Nicaraguan shade grown. And my favorite size is, well, I got many, but this one is one of them. But I would say Churchill 7x54.
That is a great size. And you know what?
Look, you see, look at my dad's comment.
Dude, he's ready to go.
Yeah, we work both together. Right before you sent he's put the same thing.
Your dad's a genius. I'm telling you, that dude doesn't sleep. He's just, he's on it, man. Is he one of those guys that gets up at 4 a.m. every day, has his coffee, he's ready to attack the world?
No, he goes to bed at pretty much 4 a.m.
Oh, he goes to well, that also
Then
can kind of prove a
wakes up
point.
at, like, 6, and he works out in the morning. He comes to the office.
Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine. It's those are some big shoes to fill.
I'm like the old man. He's like the young guy.
Yeah, I definitely I know what you mean by that. That's all I'm gonna say. I know what you mean by
The
that.
kids make you
Dad,
feel
go
old.
to bed. I have to put my dad to bed. I go, Dad, when we're in Nicaragua, hey man, time to go. Let's go to bed.
Dad, let's go to bed.
Hey, no shame.
You imagine when he's like, like really old, like when he gets much older, like how like old men get when they're just like, come on, Dad, it's time for bed. No, I got things to do, and you're like, come on, Dad, it's time. We gotta get some rest.
No comment. Next question.
Oh man, well it is time once again for the Perdomo segment of the show. That's right, it's our trivia segment brought to you by Perdomo Cigars, featuring the 2025 Cigar of the Year, the Perdomo Legacy Nicaraguan Shade-Grown Epicure. Also, our 2025 Factory of the Year for Tabacalera Perdomo. Perdomo cigars stand for quality, tradition, and excellence. All right, Nicole, this is your show. So now it's...
All right, so we have some sports trivia tonight from the late 1990s to early 2000s. So, let's see. Let's see which ones are interesting. Because also I know Matthew... I'm trying to pick ones that aren't New England based also.
Oh, yeah, don't make it too easy.
I'm not trying to... yeah. I'm trying to space it out a little bit. Let's see. Which team won the Stanley Cup in 2004 before the NHL lockout? A, New Jersey Devils, B, Tampa Bay Lightning, C, Detroit Red Wings, or D, the Colorado Avalanche?
Colorado.
New Jersey.
Wow, you're both wrong. It was Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't think they won until later. They won in 04?
They did win in 04.
They won in 04.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
okay.
You got me. All right.
Trivia is hard.
It's-
Some people like thrive at trivia, and I don't know. It depends on what it is. I feel like I'm good at stupid trivia, but then like anything important, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Which team defeated the Lakers in the 2004 NBA Finals? A, Detroit Pistons, B, Indiana Pacers, C, San Antonio Spurs, and D, Miami Heat.
Detroit Pistons.
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you read that one more time?
Which team defeated the Lakers in the 2004 NBA Finals? A, Detroit Pistons, B, Indiana Pacers, C, San Antonio Spurs, or D, the Miami Heat?
Spurs.
Wrong, but Nicholas got it correct. It was the
Damn.
Detroit Pistons.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Thank God they lost, because that's what brought Shaquille O'Neal to Miami.
Yeah. I remember that when he played in Miami.
Yep, I miss those days.
All right. Who won 5 consecutive NASCAR Cup Series championships from 1996 to 2000? A, Jeff Gordon, B, Dale Earnhardt, C, Tony Stewart, and D, Jimmy Johnson.
Johnson was later.
I don't know anything about NASCAR.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're not a NASCAR guy?
Jimmy Johnson came later.
Okay.
I'm from Miami.
I want to say it's Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, it was
Matt's
Jeff
a
Gordon.
NASCAR guy.
Yeah, it was Jeff Gordon.
I
'cause
guess we consider that a sport in this house.
Yeah.
Told.
Yeah, Cubans don't do much NASCAR.
No.
No, it's okay. That's okay. Although the NASCAR that was when NASCAR was good. These days,
I'll take
we don't have the time. We don't have the time. There's a lot of gripes with NASCAR. It's not as great as it used to be.
We try.
Or-
But I feel like in the last couple of years it's been.
It's making a couple of strides, but the biggest one this year was when they went back to the chase format and they got rid of the stupid the win and you're in format, because that was dumb. All you had to do was win one race during the regular season, and you could DNF every other race, and all of a sudden you're a playoff driver. It's like, okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. It will be here all night.
All right. Who holds the MLB single season home run record of 73 set in 2001? A. Mark McGuire.
Oh, I know this one.
B. Sammy Sosa. C. Barry Bonds. And D. Alex Rodriguez.
Mark McGuire.
Barry Bonds.
It was Barry Bonds.
Wait, what year?
2001. You went into that with so much confidence.
Oh, you know why? Because I think McGuire was 99.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're thinking about the chase. So
Yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember McGuire was 71.
That's,
I think
71, Sosa was 66, I think.
that's right. And that was close in time. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, McGuire. But you're right. I forgot about. Yeah, no, you're right.
Bring roids back to baseball.
You know, honestly, 10 years ago I would have disagreed. But these days, I'm like, yeah, dude, I miss baseball from that time. I really do. It was a better time. I mean, I get it, but like, it was more fun to watch.
It's safe baseball, man.
I miss baseball from the 90s and the 2000s. I feel like that's when baseball peaked. And then after that, it was just like,
Sucks.
I know. Then they got the automatic balls and strikes this year.
Yeah.
You know, they get the pitch clock because they're trying to speed up the game. It's like, look, pure baseball fans, you don't need that. You watch the game, you watch the game. It's these other people that are like, I want to watch baseball in an hour and 45 minutes. You know what? I don't think baseball's for you. You know, if I'm being honest, don't mess with a tradition, okay?
Yeah, but do you not think it might be like the TV networks pushing for it?
I don't
more so
care.
than the fans.
Well, then you know what? Then you know what? That's the man. You gotta say no to the man. You know, I mean, it's like the man is trying to. It's like Jack Black said in School of Rock. He's like, the world is run by the man.
Love that.
And there used to be a little thing called rock and roll. But guess what? Oh no, the man took away that too with a little thing called MTV. And he's right. It's true. Yeah, don't ruin baseball. Man.
It is what it is, man.
I know. Times are changing. You know, it's a different world we live in now. Oh God, I had something that I was going to bring up, and I totally blanked on it. Oh man, damn it! Oh yeah, my mom's here. Yeah, my mom's very excited when you guys come on the show.
Saved my life at TPE.
She did.
Saved my life, man. Let me tell you, I'm being from Miami, 100% humidity, going into Las Vegas. My hands, I was so embarrassed. I would shake people's hands, and they just started cracking. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And your mom went out, and she got me. I still have the Gold Bond. And that stuff was like miracle cream, man. I'll never forget that. Never.
She talks about you guys all the time. I think you guys are her favorite people. I mean, I really do.
She's our favorite.
Yeah. I mean, then she went out and she found this like real fancy French bakery like thing at the hotel, and she spent like $200 on these pastries. She calls me and she's like, I just got to the convention center. Like, where are you? And I was I'm in such and such booth or whatever. I don't remember where I was. And I remember I just see her coming in and she's got this giant box. And I'm like, what the hell is that? She's like, oh, I bought all these pastries. I'm going to hand them out to people. I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, I got to go see Nicholas. She's like, okay, let's go.
Saved my life with those hands, man. Vegas don't like me.
Yeah. I know. We'll be back there next year though, so gotta make sure we get plenty of Gold Bond.
This year, though, she's going to be on Grammy duty, so.
Yeah, she will. Anastasia's gonna have a good old week stay at the other tobacco residence. It's gonna be a great time. We'll get to sleep in, kind of. I don't know. I'll probably be up late most nights anyway. I gotta get up
It's
early.
sleeping in for me when I wake up with her at 5:30 every day, so I'm excited.
I wake up at 4:30 every day, so
I know,
you're
but
telling me.
Yeah, but you go to work and I deal with her. I think I have it harder.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's our Perdomo trivia segment. Proud to have it here. It's gonna be next week's gonna be big. It's big once again for you guys. The father and son. Are you taking any orders for it next week? Or are you just showcasing it so people can see it and kind of unveiling?
Yeah, we're gonna do both. We're gonna take some pre-orders just to to make sure. I mean, pretty much everything's sold, but and we have our number. But we're gonna be showing it proudly, and I think it's something that it's very different, and I'm really excited, really happy about this brand. I really am. It's something that I think a lot of people are going to be really happy when they see this.
And you're going to be doing a preview event up here at Two Guys Cigars in May. I believe it's May 20th. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's funny. I was in there today. I should have asked Trevor. I don't know if you know. Is that event sold out yet?
I'm not sure. I haven't really. I think last we had a little bit over for the cigar dinner. I think we had almost 100 and close to 113, 115 people coming. So yeah. And that's another month left. So I'm excited about that. I think it's.
It always sells out though. So
yeah. I was just gonna say if it wasn't, if it's not, there's not many tickets left. So if anyone's interested,
get them while you can.
Contact them. But if not, then sorry you missed out. But we'll tell you all about it. And
yeah.
That'll be good too. That'll be nice. And then sometime holiday is when I think you guys are planning on sending these out to the stores.
Yeah, we're looking at a fourth quarter release.
Okay.
We're looking at a fourth quarter release, so that's going to be probably around October, so prior to the holidays, so that the cigars settle into the stores and the humidors and things like that. But I think they're going to be, when you see the presence and you look at the packaging itself, it's one of those things, knowing that it's only going to be released once a year. It's 50 cigars, and they're 50 amazing cigars, 10 to 15 year age tobaccos, one of its own type of size, and it's just the engineering, talking about it, concentration from start, expansion of flavors from 52 all the way as it climbs up to 60, and then smoking the cigar through a 48 ring gauge. It's something I'm so proud of, and I think it's going to do extremely well.
It's I was thinking about this. I don't think you said anything about it, but in terms of this release and the way you're releasing it, do you kind of plan on maybe every year with each release giving it like a vintage, like this is X vintage or whatever, or is it gonna just kind of be just a generalized like wine, you know what I mean, like, oh, this is right. Our 26 vintage or whatever, kind of make, even though it's an annual special release, limited edition, you kind of can also, I don't want to say like track them, but kind of like with wine releases, I know like Michael Herklotz has talked a lot about that with, kind of like what he does with some of his projects, and just kind of give it that, that minor distinction, from release to release.
Yeah, we haven't planned on it. I think because of the tobaccos that we're using, and because the big thing about it, and I think what's unique for a limited edition, I think limited editions are only around for maybe a couple of years at most if they do a yearly release and so forth, from what I've seen in my previous, in my experience of seeing other brands do it. But every single tobacco that my dad and I, that we utilize from wrapper, binder, filler, we have the mindset of, when we blended those cigars, that we're going to use tobaccos that we continue to grow every single year. So because those tobaccos that we opened up from 2011 all the way to 2016, we're still growing those varieties of tobaccos. Now, where we have to stay in control and really in control to maintain the quality and the integrity of the blends, is making sure that every year that we go through those tobaccos that we're utilizing 10 to 15 year age tobaccos. So that's really the big thing, and how we stay organized and how we continue to monitor our inventory of those specific tobaccos by blend and all that, by size, everything like that. So that's the big thing. And so I really don't feel like I need to put a vintage on it, because it's going to be the consistent cigar year in and year out.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I kind of caught that, this isn't something you think will be kind of a long-term thing.
Oh, I want to make it long-term, because
Okay.
yeah, so the varieties of tobacco that we're using, we still grow today within Jalapa, Esteli, and Condega, because of we're still growing in smaller lots, and so everything we pulled that we can't use in regular production items out of smaller lots, we're gonna use specifically for Perdomo Legacy Father and Son. Could we make another size in another year, something like that? It really just depends on where we're at in terms of if we want to create a new size. I mean, we have some new sizes that we're going to come out with in the future, because I think my dad and I really got inspired by just him and I sitting and taking on a piece of paper and creating our own size. So I mean, maybe in the next 5-6 years, when we have our Perdomo 40th anniversary, things like that. I mean, that's something that eventually we'll look at doing, but I think we're good right now. I want to see how this does, and how we've been asked for years by many consumers, hey, we'd love to have a limited edition product. And our answer has always been like, well, limited editions come and go. What if you love this cigar and it becomes your favorite, and then you can't buy it again? It's not the case for Perdomo Legacy Father and Son. We're only releasing it once a year to maintain the inventories of tobacco, and we're only releasing it once a year, just so if there's longevity in the future of it. And we can monitor tobaccos correctly. This ain't a money grab. This is just something. At the end of the day, my dad and I, we're cigar geeks, and we love cigars. We love blending. We love the farms. We love everything, and we wanted to do something really special and unique to us. And I think after so many years of sacrifice and dedication and building brands, right? Like, to your point, building a brand is everything, and having a sustainable core line, I think that's, after you have that, that's when you earn the right to make a limited edition product.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify that, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
I do remember what I was going to ask you. I wanted to touch on something that kind of happened last year. Not really a big thing, but obviously the industry saw a lot of maybe not a lot, but it's a little bit of a roadblock, or maybe not a roadblock, but just something popped up with tariffs, and I know that affected a lot of brands, and you guys had to raise prices, which I know you guys are usually not a company that's always raising prices all the time, and you guys work very hard to keep your prices very approachable for the consumer, especially given the quality of the product that you have, which is amazing. How just that whole experience and dealing with that. I mean, I know that was probably a tough decision, but has it had a huge effect on sales and business and stuff like that, or is it kind of evened out, or just kind of how has that been a huge impact to you guys? I mean, it's beyond your control. And I think a lot of people know that, but I've been curious to ask a lot of people that question.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, thankfully, because our cigars have always been priced so fairly, and we've been known as one of the best priced cigars in the market, it really hasn't hit us. This year, for example, we have not given there is no price increase for 2026. It makes us sick to do it, and at the end of the day, as bad as these tariff prices have been for us, the biggest pain and the hardest pill for us really to swallow, and we're going on 17 years now, absorbing the S-chip tax, so 41 cents per cigar. So we still absorb that, and plus we only at the time we had an 18% price increase, tariff. We only raised our prices overall about 9%, so we've absorbed half of this tariff since it's been out. So we never gave a full 18% price increase to make it zero and cover them. So imagine we're working on really small razor thin margins. We were absorbing for the last 17 years, 41 cents a cigar, and on top of it, we're eating 9% of a huge tariff.
This one's for Dave. They cut out the S-chip tax. I had to. I could. I had to. That's a homage or an homage.
Yeah, we're the only company that's ever done it and still does it to this day.
Yeah, which I think is very bold, but it worked. It was a good strategy.
It was a masterful move by my dad, and it was something that paid off tremendously to this day. And that's why, even though having a really heavy tariff like the 18% that we had that we received last year, that's why we were able to, going back to 2009, our pricing stayed really strong. And so really, thankfully, it hasn't hurt us. And we had a great year last year. We grew, and we're on track to have another great year of growth.
Yeah, that's called playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. Good old Nick Jr. He knows what he's doing. Well, we're running out of time here, Nicholas. I wanted to say, first and foremost, thank you for the time. I know how busy you guys are, especially right before the show. I know everyone's got a lot going on that they got to prepare for. So thank you for taking the time to come on and hang out with us and talk about father and son and, what's ahead and what to look forward to. It'll be great. I'm going to see you next week in New Orleans at the PCA show. Yeah, me too. I can't wait. It's great to see everybody and catch up. It's my favorite part, really. It's going to be a great time. So I just want to say congratulations on all the success that you and everyone at Perdomo has seen, and just keep doing your thing, man. You guys are just blazing ahead. So
thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Nicole. Thanks for the partnership. We're proud to be, we're proud to work with you guys, and I love Smokin Tabacco, and we love your program, and we're going to support you guys. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that too. We love being with you guys, and it's good to work with companies that are doing it the right way. I think that says a lot. So we appreciate that too. It's nice, good working with good people. It's always fun. But guys, that's going to be our show this week, and it was a good one. We will be back. Nicole, what's our plan for next week?
So our show is being moved from Wednesday night to Tuesday.
We're going to do Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing a pre-PCA show.
That's right. We'll do our pre-PCA show, kind of like final thoughts. We will do a pre-PCA show this week on Spare Notes. Not entirely, but, the three of us, myself, Nicole, and William Cooper of cigar-coop.com. Once again, for Spare Notes, Saturday night, we're getting back together, do our pre-PCA show, plus anything else we have on the docket. And then Tuesday night, Smokin Tabacco show, kind of final thoughts. And then we'll see you guys again the following Wednesday for the beginning of our post-show coverage. So giving you guys the insights, the vibes, the feelings of the show. And
if you guys follow us on YouTube, we'll be releasing videos as soon as we make them with some of our trade show interviews.
And on SmokinTabacco.com, we'll also have the booth write-ups, giving you all the vibes from the show, vibes from each booth, the releases and what have you from every company that we visit. Our booth coverage is not going to be as expansive as it used to be. That's a strategical move that we've made to kind of maximize just our coverage in the best way possible. So looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a stressful yet fun time. It always is, but it's always great. I wouldn't have it any other way. So I want to say thank you, Nicholas. Thank you to everyone at Perdomo, and thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight, and everyone who's going to download and listen to later. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you find your podcasts on whatever podcast platform you use. And as always, head over to SmokinTabacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates, as well as our 2026 PCA Trade Show and Convention coverage brought to you by Drew Estate. We'll see you Saturday night. Take care.